Well, greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to tonight's second half. Before we get into tonight's second half, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. The links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. My merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeffrey Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe, click the like button, and please leave a comment. It really does help, and it definitely matters. And now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get on with today's second half, shall we? Alright guys, so for today's second half, I'm taking a little walk on a logging road in the Adirondacks with the Hudson on one side and a swamp and woods on the other. Beautiful little area. Definitely a little creepy today though. And gonna end it with a terrifying Dogman encounter out of the Pine Barrens. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so you said in the poll that you liked when I came out into the wilderness. This is part of the Hudson River. I've been down here once before. It's a beautiful little spot. It's an inlet. Here's the main part of the Hudson right there. Real pretty. I'm gonna take a walk down this logging road here and just see if we can, I don't know, come across anything. This is actually the site. I talked about it once before. Back in 1980 something, there was a guy who had come down. It was a boat launch back that way. He'd come down the boat launch with his kid, and as they were coming down the hill kind of goes and then veers into here. They saw this large, hairy humanoid, and this thing jumped off the embankment down this like hill and ran back toward that way. So I don't know if you can see that telephone pole back there. It kind of ran through and went alongside the woods there. Just a really interesting old story. It was in our local newspaper. Of course, for those of you who know a lot, I know I've got like a Dogman channel, but not really. For those of you who are familiar with the Bigfoot community, a lot of people know the Bartholomews in Lake Champlain, Fort Anne, Whitehall. It's right across the lake is Vermont. And one evening a bunch of kids had come across a Bigfoot and got freaked out. The sheriff came down and he had ended up seeing the Bigfoot as well, which was definitely cool. Vermont State Trooper that same night had seen the Bigfoot, which, I mean, you've got these people out there that say, oh, these things don't exist, we're just crazy, we're all, whatever. But yeah, I mean, numerous police officers have seen these things. Numerous police officers have seen Dogman. I mean, NCON, or we call them NCON in my area, Fish and Wildlife. A lot of Fish and Wildlife agents have seen them, It's a known fact that these things exist. It's just kept secret from us because They don't want us to know anything about it, you know? They want to keep us in the dark, keep us blind. But yeah, it's beautiful out here. It's a beautiful fall day. I really do just love where I live. I'm gonna pan around real quick, hang on. So that's the river, and it goes all the way back, and then, like I said, this is just a logging road that I'm on. Just really quiet, pretty out here. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so, you know, and I don't know if it's, I don't really think that it's because tourism dollars and stuff like that. I think that's a part of it. I just think that they enjoy keeping secrets from us. You know, that's what the government does best, is that keep secrets from us. And that's disturbing in of itself, you know. So this is weird out here. I don't know what that is. That's looks like some kind of gravel shaker or something. Huh. That's cool. That's where we're going. Up that way. Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, this is perfect location for a Bigfoot. 1980s. It wasn't as grown up as it is now. I mean, this is more grown up than when I was a kid. I mean, that was not there. And this road here was a heck of a lot narrower. Almost like what I'm going on now, which is pretty cool. So I guess I made a statement the other day about feral people that people didn't understand when I said evidence, DNA evidence and stuff like that. Sure, there may be, people may say, hey, you know, I have DNA evidence of this, and this is what it's from. This is what it's saying. It's saying primate and human female. The thing that I have an issue with is, how do we know? I mean, really, how do we know if, you know, it's true? Every researcher wants to get that notoriety, you know. They want to, you know, have their name in lights. A lot of them, not every, a lot of them, big ones. And you know, they were like, I've dedicated 30 years of my life to this. Well, I've dedicated, my life since 1994 to looking at the paranormal, to researching attacks and encounters. What's that? That's 20 or 30 years almost, you know? And I don't think I'm anything special. I just think I'm a guy that has a passion, just like all of you. We have a passion to get the answers that we deserve. We deserve these answers. We don't deserve to have this hidden from us. See, they're making these roads wider over here. But anyway, we don't deserve to have the answers hidden from us anymore. And I have a hard time believing anything that I can't see with my own eyes, when it comes to results, lab results. I really think that, I don't know, I think there's been too many people out there that just are glory seeking, or whatever you want to call it, looking for something that just their name in lights, like I said. I want answers. I don't want my name in lights. I just want the truth. Like you guys. And I think that we all deserve the truth. I really do. I think that as Americans, as people, I mean, not even Americans, just as human beings living on this beautiful planet that loves nature and wants to be like I am right now, just outside enjoying nature, should we really have to worry? Or if we are outside and out in these, shouldn't we know everything that's out here? Shouldn't we be aware of a 6 to 10 foot creature that exists in these woods, or a feral kind of human? And I've read a couple comments, people are like, what is a feral human? Well, a feral human would be like what you'd think a caveman would be. That has lived in the woods, in these dense forests and national parks for centuries, generations, grandmother, great-grandmother, and through inbreeding and whatever kind of, genetic mutation has turned them into something that does not resemble a human anymore. A perfect example. People say when they talk about feral humans that they are hairy. Well, that would be geographic or environmental evolution. Your body adapts to living outside, adapts to not having a jacket, adapts to not having a shirt, and it grows hair through generations. So that is evolution. And I know some people hate that word, but I'm a science-based person. I believe in science. It was not too long ago that certain religious establishments were telling us that dinosaurs didn't exist, when we knew they existed, So I really think that a feral human is I don't even like calling them human, because are they human at this point? Because really, what makes a human? Genetics, but are they what we would consider a human? No, definitely not. They'd be a mutant of a human. I don't think they have razor sharp teeth. I think their teeth, if they have teeth, I think their teeth are what almost like a Bigfoot's teeth would be, what a human's tooth would be, but chipped, dirty, cracked. I don't, their nails, obviously would be stronger than ours, because they're using them as tools, digging, ripping apart. So I don't know what they are. I can't consider them human. I don't think they necessarily just eat meat either, I think that they are opportunistic, more or less what a caveman would be. So, but that's just me and what I think. So, all right, so I'm heading back towards where that Bigfoot was seen. One thing that I wanted to say, when I did that poll, I saw a comment saying that I don't see the high caliber anything on you, nor do you talk about it. Just because I don't talk about it doesn't mean I'm not. My channel was sponsored by Tromix Lead Delivery System, who created the 458 SOCOM a while ago. And I am a pro 2A person. So just because I don't make it known doesn't mean I don't have protection with me. This is something that I don't want to talk about, So I want to give you guys kind of a look-see at where this Bigfoot thing happened. Let me switch the camera around. So this is a inlet of the Hudson, or a swamp, I guess. But see that hill? There's a hill up there. There's a house there now. Let me scan up on it. There's a house up there, which that was not there. Like I said, it's starting to grow up a little bit around here, which I hate. So back in the 80s, there was no houses there. And these are people that moved from the city, which we wish they'd just move back to and get out of our town. But anyway, so that stretch right there is where this Bigfoot came down from. And I'll show you exactly how it went down momentarily. All right, so this is the top of the hill. A long time ago, there was no houses here. There was no houses, like 100 feet past that stop sign is where the houses ended. So this father and son were coming down to the boat launch. They were driving this road right here. And something's out there big. What the hell? So they were driving through here, and off to the side here used to be a pit. There's a sand pit down there. Well, this creature came from off of here and jumped through these woods and down behind that swamp. There's that swamp right there. And that is how the Bigfoot of Moreau in the 80s escaped from a father and son. Very interesting. But yeah, so this road takes you to where I just was. And then, of course, you got to walk a ways to get to where I was, but it is definitely beautiful. All right, guys, we're going to end today's second half with a terrifying Dogman encounter. Before I start, this experience is from the perspective of my friend Harold, and for the sake of anonymity, I will keep the details as vague as possible, along with not using his name or the names of people involved. I believe I saw a cryptid that most people know as a Dogman or Wolfman of sort in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. A little bit about me first. When I received my license at 17 years old, I started spending all of my free time outdoors, hiking all over the East Coast, but mostly within the Pine Barrens, since I live in New Jersey. I graduated from Stockton University with a bachelor's degree in environmental science, and I worked as a naturalist at Bastow Village in Wharton State Forest for a while, which is the largest state forest within the Pine Barrens. I got the job before my internship ended due to my knowledge of plants and animals. They didn't expect me to have the credentials because, at the time, I wasn't even finished with my first semester of college. I only give out this information because when I see an animal in the woods day or night, I know within 100% certainty what I'm looking at. And after almost 6 years of the time of writing this experience, I can't wrap my head around the creature that I saw. I am an open-minded person to a point. I do believe certain cryptids can exist solely if the biology of the creature is possible, but that does not put a bipedal canine on my list. Roughly 6 years ago, I, along with 2 friends, one a welder and one a mechanic, and I will be naming the welder Chris and the mechanic Alan, went off-roading in my friend Alan's truck somewhere in Manchester, New Jersey. We met with a bunch of Alan's off-roading buddies in a spot they frequented. I did not know the specific area, only that it was in Manchester, New Jersey, and it was very close to a general vicinity of the abandoned brick factory. And hung for a few hours. We drove around the dirt trails and just had a good time socializing with other people. I did not have any alcohol or any pot in my system because after we left, I had to drive myself home. So I was sober along with my friend Alan, who as well was sober. But my friend Chris was a bit high. We were beginning to leave, and as we are taking the trails to get back to the main road, my friend Alan told me to look out for deer. He was driving about 35 miles an hour because the dirt path we were on was pretty open, about 30-ish feet wide, and we were dead in the middle, just in case he did have to respond to a deer jumping from the tree line. A few minutes go by, and my sharp eyes spot a deer running alongside the truck, but within the tree line, so the view of it was not more than just a dark brown patch of fur. As I'm about to say something to my friend Alan, thinking that this deer is going to run in front of the truck and try to commit suicide, it speeds up its pace significantly and gets about 20 feet ahead of the truck, still in the tree line, and then proceeds to jump in front of the truck. For as long as I live, I will never forget what I saw that night. It ran on 2 back legs, looked right up at us, and to our horror, it ran by this 30-foot wide dirt road in 3 steps, and went into the opposite tree line. In those few seconds that I saw this Dogman or Wolfman, to this day, I will never forget what I saw. It was roughly 7 feet tall, guesstimating its height using my friend Alan's lifted truck as reference, covered in dark brown fur. Every inch of its body I saw was covered in this dark brown fur, but the chest/stomach area had less fur, and a lighter color fur than the rest of the body. But even under its fur, you could make out extreme muscle definition, very similar to an Olympic bodybuilder. It also had canine-type head with a long snout and 2 distinct perked-up wolf ears with large muscular legs. The torso and arms were similar to that of a very muscular man with large hands. The hands had visible claws that looked like they could do some real damage, and its eyes reflected an unnatural color of light that I have not seen in the animal kingdom. As soon as it jumped into the opposing tree line, my friend Alan slammed on the brakes. My friend Chris said, "I know I'm high, but what in the actual was that?" My friends, puzzled by what we had just seen, looked at me and said, "Okay, nature boy, tell us something explainable." I sat there dumbfounded and told them I didn't have an answer based on reason or science, or anything I could logically think of. and my friend Alan hightailed it out of there. To this day, my friend Chris has convinced himself that it was not a hallucination because of the pot, and my other friend Alan, who does not believe in the supernatural and absolutely refuses to have an open mind, does not speak about this event and pretends it never happened. To this day, I still have no logical explanation for what I saw. I do not believe that a bipedal canine creature could logically, biologically exist, but what I saw was something matching the description with my own eyes, and it was very real. I truly, truly hope my friend Paul Evans Pedersen just heard that, because he studied the Pine Barrens for years. I mean, if I have a question about the Pine Barrens, I reach out to him because, as far as I'm concerned, he is the most knowledgeable of the Pine Barrens and legends of the Jersey Devil. And like I've said before, Paul had never heard of Dogman until I reached out to him. And after listening to experiences on the channel, he really now thinks that some of the sightings of the Jersey Devil could possibly be a Dogman. So, yeah, wow. Definitely a cool encounter to end the evening with. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's second half. It's a little different. Did a little walkabout, gave you a terrifying encounter, and, well, I don't know. And if you did like it, I'm glad. And if you didn't like it, I'm sorry. But with that, may the Great Spirit watch over us all, and may He guide us down that path that we call life. Stay safe, everyone.